Hi, I'm Douglas, your instructor on research methods on the model of traditions of qualitative inquiry. Today I'll be focusing on ethnography. What is ethnography? Ethnography, according to Sarantakos, it literally means the science of ethnos, that is, nations, people, or culture. The other term is ethnology, also referring to ethnography. Ethnography is a descriptive and interpretation of culture or social group or a system. Creswell. Ethnography has also been regarded as science of cultural descriptions. According to Adam, the interest of ethnography is the native point of view. When used as a method, ethnography typically it refers to fieldwork. Alternatively, participant observation conducted by a single investigator who lives with and lives like those who are studied usually for a year or more. Ethnographic methods are means of tapping to the local point of view, households, community, funds of knowledge by identifying significant categories of human experiences up close and personal. According to Hamsley, it refers to social research that has most of the following features. People's behavior is studied in everyday contexts. Data are gathered from a range of sources. The approach to data collections is unstructured in a sense that it follows through, it doesn't follow a detailed plan set up at the beginning. The focus is usually a single entity or a group of relatively small scale. The analysis of data involves interpretation of meanings and functions of human actions and mainly takes a form of verbal descriptions and explanations. What is the focus of ethnography? Culture. It focuses on cultural determinants of human behaviors. These are some of social groups' observable patterns of behaviors like customs, way of life, behaviors, language, their interactions, among others. Holistic. It assumes a holistic outlook in research in order to gain a comprehensive and a complete picture of a social group. Contextualization. Ethnography involves placing observation into a larger perspective or context. Multiple realities. Ethnographers are interested in describing insiders' perspective of reality, ethic, as well as placing the data collected in their own external or scientific perspective, which is ethic. Triangulations. It involves use of more than one methodology, methods, samples, times, and then non-judgmental. The researcher, ethnographer, is supposed to make inappropriate or unnecessary value judgment about what they observe. Symbols and rituals. They look at symbols that help them to understand and describe a culture. Structure and functions. There are structures and functions that are traditional concepts that guide research in social organization. Structure, we are looking at the configuration of a group, such as a kinship or political structure. So, where are functions, which are social relations among the group. So, the role of ethnographer is that they participate overtly and covertly in the people's daily lives for an extended period of times, mostly more than 6 months plus, watching what is happening, listening to what is being said, asking questions, in fact, collecting whatever data is available so that they can throw light on the issues and focus on the research. And where does it take place? In a naturalistic settings or environment. And it takes a form of a total immersion in a day-to-day activities of the people. So there are variations in these methods, observation research, which is not a single thing. It is a decision to employ field methods in gathering informations data, which is a first step in decision process. It involves getting closer to the study host in their natural settings or environment and being factual and descriptive of and reporting what is being observed. Participant observation. It's an omnibus field strategy that simultaneously combines document analysis, interviewing of informants, direct participant observation, and last introspection. The researcher shares as intimately as possible in the life and activities of the study host. The purpose is to develop an insider's view or emic validity of what is happening and feels what it's like to be a part of the group besides seeing what is happening. More so, the researcher, besides seeking to understand, must also try to see familiar settings such as anthropologically strange or cultural shock within the community. So, as a methods, social science research methods that relies heavily on up-close personal experience and possible participation, not just observation, by a research trained in the art of ethnography. The ethnographer often work in multidisciplinary teams, and their focal point of view includes intensive language, culture learning, intensive study of a single field, intensive and a blend of historical observational interviews. Just as Malinowski pointed out that the goal of ethnographer is to grasp the native point of view and to realize its vision world. So there are other methodological principles surrounding ethnography, such as naturalism, which is the view that the aim of social research is to capture the characteristics of natural occurring of human behavior, and it is achieved by first-hand contact, not by inference. So the ethnographer carry out their research in naturalist settings that exist independently. This is to minimize their effects on to increase the chance of what is discovered that so that it can be generalizable to other similar settings. Understanding is the argument that human actions differ from the behavior of physical objects and also from the of other animals. So, for instance, if we are to explain human action effectively, we must gain an understanding of the cultural perspective on which they are based. So, and next is discovery, which is another feature of ethnographic thinking, which is a conception of research process as inductive or discovery based, rather than being limited to testing of explicit hypotheses. In discovery, it's urged that if a ethnographer approaches a phenomena with a set of hypotheses, she or he may fail to discover the true nature of the phenomenon since she or he is being blinded to the assumption built in hypothesis. Last, in discovery, ethnographers develop theoretical ideas that frame descriptions and explanation of what is observed, and they are developed over the course of research. Finally, cited documents. Ethnographers make use of various documents in answering and guiding questions when available. The documents can add additional insights or information to the project since ethnographic attention continues to be focused on both literate and non-illiterate people. Not all research projects have site documentation. For example, including budgets, as advertisement, annual reports, school records, memos, teaching materials, newsletters, website records of courts proceedings, among others, because there are issues of privacy or copyrights issues that may apply to documents gathering from site documents. When allowed, you include it in your final report. But if for example, in bibliography, but when not allowed, don't use it in any way. So I would like to thank you for attending these lessons and stay tuned for my next lessons. Bye.